Let's.
I'll always respond in the gulag. So even if
Ah, okay.
we'll respond in the gulag.
Okay, chat room, you ready? Mac Tuesday, you ready? Okay, let's watch this video about our boy. Got a raw deal.
Well,
Yeah,
it all
crazy
started
video, man.
when I went to the
Can't
skate
believe
park.
I haven't watched it in a long time. I remember all the Knuckles and stuff. We all hyped it up and stuff, and they had a premiere for it too. It was really cool.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Guys that were skating around.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
One guy, and then he had his friends with him.
I'm getting shot at by two Panzer tanks right now.
Chilling,
So.
having a good time.
Oh shit.
They asked me, they were like,
I gotta...
"Can you drive us to our dude's house? Cause we gotta get stuff or whatever." I'm like, "Sure, like, why not?" So later on that night, I drive them up. Then I stay in my car, and then they go inside, and then you can start hearing like people screaming, and you could hear like some kind of like fight going on from like inside of a building. And I'm thinking like, what is really, what's going on? You know, I'm so confused. And later on, a whole gunshot goes off, like a very loud, like, boom. And everyone starts swarming, like literally like cockroaches, just going left, right, everywhere to, you know, escape from this because they didn't know what was going on. And after that gunshot, those guys that I drove up came running out of this apartment place, and one of them had a gun. And I'm thinking, oh no, like, so I hurry up and like, I got spooked and I freaked out because I'd never been in this situation in my life before. So I hurried up and ran into my car and then drove off. The next day, police were at my house, and they were asking, your car was at this place at a time where a murder was occurred. And I'm thinking, oh no, like what's gonna happen? They said that, hey, we need to ask you questions and stuff. Can you come down to the police station? Thought about it, I was like, well, I'll go down because I have nothing to hide. Like, I will go down there and tell them, you know, what happened. And, you know, because obviously I didn't have no part of this. I didn't know what they were doing. So later on, we go down and they asked me the questions and I answer back truthfully and everything. So they said, all right, well, we need to step out for a second. So I'm just sitting in this room alone. And eventually they came back in, and then they said, you are under arrest for obstructions of justice. We think that you're not telling us the whole truth.
Oh man.
We feel like there's parts of the stories that you're not telling us, and you're under arrest. So they put me in handcuffs. Later on, as the court hearings are going, no one's pleading out, and no one's taking responsibility of the murder. So the guy that did the shooting or whatever isn't, you know, taking his side of his story, and he's not saying, yeah, I did it. He's just kind of like, you know, avoiding it. So
what was going through your mind?
Oh man.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, which part are we at?
Right now at the court, and no one is taking the plea. No one is telling the truth.
They charge you for murder.
Yeah, and they're pretty much putting you on the hot seat because you literally, really, honestly, didn't really have anything to do with this.
Yeah,
you drove your buddy, and all of a sudden, because you drove somebody unknowing that this was going to happen, you get stuck in the crosshairs, and that must have been horrible.
Yeah, it's like you don't know whatever. It's like weird. It's like you don't know what people are plotting. You know what I mean? It's like someone's always plotting something, and you might not even know what's going on. Like that's how oblivious I was, bro. Like, I mean, I was
naive.
Arrogant,
what is it? Naivete?
Yeah. And arrogant too. Just being.
You're a kid. How old were you again? 15?
21.
You were 21?
21,
oh
bro.
Man, that's not
21,
good, man. 21. Hanging out at a skate park. 21.
21 years old, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, 21 years old, bro.
Yeah. How old were they? All your same age?
The people?
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah, some were a little bit older. The one that murdered the dude was 18. The dude that did the murder, he was actually 18.
Damn.
So he was the youngest, or one of the youngest, I think. And then there was, I think, one dude that was 17. And then the other ones are, I think, maybe like 23 or something like that.
Okay. All right, let's jump back into the story. Last time.
Dessert.
So then
they arrest me at court for murder, and now I'm on like $1 million bond, So
You really had $1 million bond?
I sat in jail
Yeah,
for
yeah.
156
Yeah,
days.
yeah. They
And
first,
I wanted
if you want to know
take
something,
a
they first
trial
charged me,
because,
like, because when it all happened,
during my
they first charged me with obstructions of justice. I don't know if I got to that point yet when I was talking about how they told me to go down to the police station.
Yeah.
Did you hear that part?
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, so when I went down
You had
there,
nothing to
because I was
hide.
like, yeah, and my brother was like, well, you should probably get a lawyer, man. I don't know, because my brother, he was the smart one, but he thought, you know what, but you're right too. You have nothing to hide, so it's like, what the fuck, you speak the truth, you set, what do they say? You say the truth and set you free or whatever. But so anyway, so I went down there and tried to explain and everything, and of course I'm scared because they're interrogating you, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? They do the kind of bad cop, good cop kind of thing, and it's like,
Dude, yeah.
you
I'm
kind of
obsessed.
don't.
I'm obsessed at watching interrogation videos, I'll be honest with you. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, well,
I
yeah,
know how
they
crazy it can get.
really, yeah, and I was like, I don't even know, and they were like, well, why would you let someone in your car and stuff like that? And I was just like, bro,
I
I was
didn't
just
know,
like,
motherfucker.
I just wanted to get some weed, man. Like, I just.
Oh,
But like,
oh my
but I
God.
want to take care of some business. You know what I mean? Like, just get, hey, I mean, what the man? It's like, I don't know. And back then, you know what I mean? Like when I was in high school, and then I just got out of high school. Like that's just how it was. Like a lot of my friends were like, "Hey man, if you drive me home from school, I'll smoke a blunt with you, or
Smoke
give
a
you a gram of
blunt.
weed, or whatever." That's kind of But of course, I get
Yeah,
sucked up
I
and
know.
stuff, and
Shit sucks. Yeah, I'm working with my
yeah.
emotes right now. Hey, smoke a weed. I like
But
to smoke a
also,
weed.
what makes me upset is that you can't be too nice in this world, man.
No, you
It's
can't,
hard.
man. No,
It's sad. That's what makes me
you
mad.
really can't. It's we live in a society where we can't truly be our honest selves in
Yeah.
the real world. But
Hmm.
I think that's why I kind of enjoy VR chat is because we can be our one true selves because it's anonymous but present, meaning you and I have hung out many times and everything, and we're just zeros and ones on that screen,
Yeah.
man. Meeting
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
each other. You're Commander Duh. I'm Diggy. There's nothing much to say. Like, we are friends. There's really not.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
then it transcends into, like, real life where we're actually talking, we're actually know each other. You're sharing your life, I'm sharing mine. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's
No. Yeah. It is. It's
weed.
wild.
It's wild, man. Uh, let's go.
bail's bond, I took a lie detector test because my lawyer felt like it'd be a good idea. To say,
Lie
I
lie
said, yeah, for
detectors are
sure.
not admissible in court.
Anything I can do to help,
Yeah. No, they're not. No, not especially
keep
for
my
trial.
jeopardy and my life safe. So I passed the lie detector test with greater than 99% truthfulness. You can't get 100 on a lie detector test. The guy that gave me the lie detector test was like known as like an FBI for like over 30 years or something. He knows what he's doing. And I have this lie detector test that's going to back me up. It's going to save me out. So later on, it came down to everyone plead out. The guy that murdered someone, he got like 20 something years or whatever. The other guys got like 15 and 11. So I'm sitting there thinking that, okay, I'm gonna get this because they got all the guys that did it. Then my lawyer was like, hey, we can go to trial, but I'm gonna let you know that your lie detector test is not admissible for court, and that's gonna be one big thing that we need to help you, because right now they're looking at you as, these guys, you're cool with them, you put them in your car, so you have the same responsibility. And so I started like breaking down, and I'm like, so what, I have to take a plea and lie? And he said, I'm not telling you get to take the plea, but
He
if you take
is.
the plea, your
Jesus.
lie detector test will be looked at. So if I go to trial, my lie detector test don't work, but then if I take the plea, it does. So what could I do?
Justice system.
My best bet was to take the plea, because if I lose in trial, I'll get the max of 30 years. 30 years for like involuntary manslaughter and even a burglary charge. And the thing is, I don't get is that how can you get me for burglary when I never went into the house? So I took a plea. Instead of 11 years, the judge gave me 36 months, which is 3 years. So I went back to jail. We were in a cell with like one other inmate for pretty much 24/7 besides lunch, breakfast and dinner. You have less than 2 minutes to eat. So you have these correctional officers like yelling at you, like, hurry up, calling you names and disrespecting you, and they don't care about you. You know what I mean? You're a convict. That's all that matters. So I'm over here just like chugging down drinks and eating nasty food, but like you're so starving in that place, and because you don't really eat that much, I technically had to, be with someone for 24/7, like I said, and have to go to the bathroom in front of them. At least the guy that I was with, he respected me and he wouldn't watch or anything, but still, it made me feel like I was an animal, like trapped in a cage, literally. It made me feel that I was a type of person that didn't even matter to society anymore. I was pretty much a number. That's all I was. You didn't have no TV. You had a sink and a toilet and a bed that was so uncomfortable, and it was terrible. Like, I mean, I had like bugs crawling everywhere in my cell, and it was so gross. I didn't even know what they were. Like, I never even seen them before. I was in a prison that had over 5,000 inmates, and it was a level 2, and we were kind of like in dorms, you could say, and each dorm held like 250 or more inmates. And when
What? Oh, is that an ad? It's an ad. Fucking ads.
when people
I opened it up on my wrong browser. It's a pop-up blocker. Read it an emotional point. Jesus.
I mean, you can get trouble for fighting inmates, obviously, but if they're doing life, what is another 3 years gonna do? That's nothing. You know what I mean? They're never gonna leave, so it doesn't even matter. So constantly, my back was against the wall. That was my best solution in prison, was to stay out of the way, because if you don't, time's gonna be hard for you and time's gonna be rough.
Sounds like the lawyer
guy
sucked.
that I knew, they ended up like bashing him in the head with the sock with the lock in it, and literally it was just so horrifying to see. And he's like looking at me, and he says like, hey, like pretty much telling me like, help me, like I need help. I don't know what is going on. Like, he was so lost, and it was sad, but I literally had to like turn my back and walk away, because if I would have helped him, they would have jumped in, and they probably would have beat me up, or if worse comes to worse, they would have killed me. Before I went to jail and stuff, I didn't really believe in God that much. But when I went through jail, I kind of like just crossed my hands. I was like, God, I never really prayed to you, and I need your help. My family, like, we can't do anything. They're out there and I'm in here. And is there anything that you can do to help me? Like, send an angel, send something. I had something like literally like whisper in my ear or in my head that said, it's okay, I got you. If I would have gave up, I probably wouldn't be here sitting here with you right now, because I probably would have been dead. God directed me to the right steps, introduced me to this guy that like controls the phones in the prisons, and he got me on there because he knew that I needed to talk to my mom at least once a day. That's all I needed, just once a day, 30 minutes, that's all. And he says, you know what, I respect that, man. Later on, my bunkie, which he was doing a lifetime for murder, and he did motivational speaking. After church and stuff, we would go to this motivational speaking class, and I got to listen to everyone's stories, which were really good stories and mind-blowing. And he told me, was like, listen, God's going to bless you with something, and he's going to make you do great things in life. I'd say like a month from there, I call my mom, and she's like, hey, guess what? I'm like, what? She says, you're getting out early. Like, you're getting out of prison early. 2 weeks after that, one of the correctional officers came up to me and was like, hey, pack your stuff. You're getting out on early release. It was like winning the lottery. I was like, man, my freedom's back. So I'm like going back. I'm like, oh man, like I'm going to be able to sleep in my own bed and play my video games, and everyone's going to miss me. My friend blessed me with a brand new computer with like two 1080 Ti's graphic cards. Dude, it was just awesome, and it literally felt like I won. And right now I'm focusing on people that need my help. Don't feel like no one gives a hell about you. Someone does. I don't care if it's an animal. I don't care if it's God. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your grandma. Someone cares for you out there, even though you might not think that. And now I'm going to high schools, talking to kids so they don't end up in like a certain situation as I did. I started surrounding myself with better people, because I'm sick and tired of being with people that are going to take me down from the hole where they're coming from. And when I started surrounding myself with successful people, my life started becoming successful. Sometimes life will hit you in the face, but you got to realize, hey, like I'm not done, I'm not out, like I'm ready to go, yo. That's what we need in life, because people give up on things when things are going really bad for him. And I understand it's not easy. It's really not. But you just got to keep your head up, dust your shoulders off, and just keep on moving. Because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here.
Yo,
So I really hope that video helped you guys in some
So-
way. Press
That was
the
a
button
good
to
one, man.
subscribe, press
It's
the
good
to
button
watch
it
for
again.
Xbox to watch a
It's
previous
crazy.
video.
Yeah, no,
Please
I
leave a
mean,
nice
it's
comment for the
it's
person in
crazy.
the video below.
Yeah,
Came up
it's,
on my
uh,
recommended. Believe it
Yeah,
or not.
remember?
Hold on.
No, I remember that thing coming out a while back too.
MetaMike Gaming. Subscribe to them. I got some questions. Got some questions for you, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just chilling.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a couple of hopefully they're not hard questions. I know that Mac Tuesday in the chat room said that your lawyer sucked.
Yeah, that's what some people. Yeah, we spent a lot of money. Too. That's crazy.
I've seen so many people in like whether they were covered on not John Stewart, John Oliver, when he was talking about plea deals and everything. People who are innocent, their lawyers have told you just to get it going faster or whatever. It's like just take the plea, because if you go to trial, it's going to be even worse. Do you think that if you went to trial, do you think that you would have gotten the max? Like you probably wouldn't have been able to get out of it. Like would you have won?
Because the lie detector tests don't work. So I mean,
That's
it's kinda
messed up.
just-
How the lie
I
detector
mean,
would
'cause
work.
It's just because like people can look at you guilty association right there.
I know no one really sees innocent until proven guilty. You know,
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. And then
because
like I
what's
don't
to
know.
say the same guy? There could be a guy just like you that has the exact same story, but he could be guilty as fuck,
Yeah.
which is rough.
Yeah. So it's like you don't. Yeah. No, I get that. So it's like I don't know. It's definitely. And then what my lawyer was saying is that they were gonna get the they could do stuff in trial where they could have like the people lie.
If you took it to
and
trial,
be like,
it
oh,
would be
yeah,
a jury
he knew
right.
about it.
How
you know
would
what I
like
mean, or
12 people
whatever,
think you
know
were
what
the
I mean?
mastermind?
So they could have had people, the guys I was driving with or whatever, testify, and they could, I don't know. According to my lawyer, he says that
No
the
way you
prosecutor
would
could
have
be like,
gotten the
hey,
max.
like, if you do something for me, I can lighten your sentence, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So like, they could have these people go up and lie, and like, talk like crazy stuff or whatever, and then if I like obviously lose, then those guys would probably get a lesser sentence. So one of my lawyer told me something like that. It was really weird, and I was just like, I don't know.
It sounds like a
man.
really shitty lawyer who had no faith in his own ability to defend you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And we had so many evidence. Like there was video surveillance of me never going in the house or anything.
Like it took
like,
too much effort or something to actually put in your job
Yeah.
as a defender. Was he a public defender or was somebody that you had to hire?
No, he was. His name's Walter Madison, bro. He did the. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in like I think 2013, there was it was called the Steubenville, Ohio rape case or whatever. It was these football players that like I guess raped this little girl or something, or I don't know. It was like a
Jesus.
big thing, and it got so crazy that um Anonymous, the hacker people,
Anonymous, yeah.
yeah, they hacked the they hacked the website school's website or whatever, and posted the video of them like raping the girl
Oh my God.
or something crazy, you know what I mean, or whatever, and like proved it to everyone, like because like I guess like what was happening is that like it was kind of getting brushed under or whatever when it happened, and I don't know, but I guess like these dudes like hacked or whatever like stepped in, and then it made it into like a big
From
viral
the cloud.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
have
my
lots of
lawyer was
1
on
stars.
CNN News and all this crazy stuff. He was in a lot of cases. I mean, I was watching a Netflix thing about it, and he was on there too. I was like,
Oh my
holy
gosh. According to Mac Tuesday, he says, haha, his Google reviews has lots of 1 stars.
crap. Yeah, I think he's not doing.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mac Tuesday, we're not lawyers here, but it says no way you would have gotten the max because it says 12 people couldn't think that you're the mastermind, but it's not about being the mastermind. It's being an accessory to the mastermind and having knowledge of it. Meaning, they don't have to prove that you're the man behind it. They just want to prove that you had an association with it and you had something to do with it, because there's a big difference between you giving them a ride and giving them and not knowing that you're giving them a ride, and
Yeah.
for the intention of murder. So it sucks, and so many people they plead down and be like, I know I'm innocent, but I really cannot face the music when it comes to, like, taking that chance of, like, getting nailed. And I'm sorry. Okay, here's probably this is my last question. I can't compare, but I can have an idea of what your first week or first month was in
Yeah.
jail, in prison. Uh, it it's it's rough, man. Um, what was that like to you? Like, was there a part of your life that said, "This is my life now, and I have to give it up"? Like, in order for me to survive, I have to like bury myself deep down so I can survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't relate. Like, I honestly cannot relate, but I have some sort of an idea, because in the military, when we went out to deployments, your first deployment, this is all new, and you're stuck in follow me on this. You're stuck in a huge iron box, and you're surrounded by 5,000 other people,
Yeah.
and you're in bunk beds, and you have to coexist amongst all these other people that have completely different lives from you, and you have to share bathrooms with them, you have to eat with them, you have to do things with them like work or whatever.
Hmm.
And literally, before they introduced a camouflage into the Navy standard uniform, the only thing that differentiated our uniforms from prison uniforms was two tags: U.S. Navy and your last name. If you take those two off, we literally look like convicts on a floating prison.
Hmm.
And it was really rough, because that first month, or even the first couple weeks, there's no escape. You can't get out. You can't escape this. You can escape it, but it's not recommended.
Yeah.
And um, and then you get to a point where you just give up, and you're like, this is my life now, and it makes life easier, but not better. So that's the way I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
understand, but I cannot relate to what you were
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah,
through.
no, yeah, yeah, I get that, and it's like jail and prison's not like what you really movies either. So it's like,
Yeah, no one's gonna go, did you get raped?
no, no. I mean, they do show you videos and stuff, like if anything does like that happen, but like they like show you like because they had it's like weird. They had like a weird like when I went to like prison like that they like had like orientation types of stuff.
That's not good.
It's crazy, man. So like,
I don't want
and
to laugh,
then
but that sounds fucked up.
yeah, they yeah, and who's teaching you the inmates. So it's like it's all
Scared straight.
inmate ran. Well, it's like you don't like the correctional officers and all them like they don't care about you. You're just a number. You're just crap to them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Unless you're getting them some money or something, they don't care about you. But because there's a lot of underground business between COs and
Of
prisoners.
course there is.
There was a whole I remember seeing a whole like big frame thing on the wall and it had pictures of people's faces like mugshots and it said they used to be one of us, now they're one of you. And it's like it was literally COs that got caught like smuggling drugs in or like, get putting, doing stuff, you know what I mean? Because it's illegal. So like, it's kind of wild, man, how it's really ran. It's like a world in another world. So it's
Wow.
yeah, never go to the volleyball court. That's Peter Beach, if you know what I mean.
What's
A
Peter
lot of
B.
guys
Short?
with
What's...
booty shorts on.
Oh.
Crop tops cut off. Kind of like, you ever seen The Longest Yard? A little
Yeah.
something like that. A little something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, actually, yeah. There was this one dude, this big fat dude with long, like blonde hair, and they used to call him what's that like little like fat kid like that little like what the heck? It used to be a meme and their mom and Betty Boo Boo or whatever or something.
Oh, yeah. Honey Boo
Yeah.
Boo.
Or yeah, so they would call that dude this, and like I don't know, like he looked like her, but like huge, and like I don't know, it's like there was just so many weird different types of people.
Holy
So
shit!
yeah,
Wow,
but
that's wild, man.
yeah, it was kind of crazy. But I even like joined like a basketball league and stuff too.
Did that
I
help?
did things on the side, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you just kind of, you have something to do instead of just laying around or just sitting around. Cause like, see, like jail, you're like kind of trapped to like, jail, you're like sitting around, you're waiting for court, finding out what's going on, like every day. Like, once you're in prison, you're already sentenced, you already know what you're doing, you know what time you're gonna get. So like, if you're doing life, I'm like, but you're kind of open to do whatever, like it's like an open place, but then eventually they shut down the yard for the night, and you're kind of like in these like dorms with like 250 people in them each, and let's just say me and maybe 15 other people were only white out of 250 people, bro. Out of like the prison held 5,000 inmates, so it had a lot of them, it had a good bit of them. It's called North Central. It was in Ohio. Let me see. Hold on. There we go. I think it's called North Central. North Central Prison.
Hear that, kid? Stay away from
Marion,
jail.
Ohio. I was all the way out. Yeah. And I think this place, it's kind of crazy. Like, remember when the Corona happened? Like when it
Yep, the
first
Rona, the
started.
Backstreet Boys tour. Yep.
Yeah, dude. This prison got hit so bad with Corona. Like everyone in that whole place was just infected. Like, oh my god, dude. I was like, imagine if I was in there. But yeah, it was called North Central Correctional Institute. That's where I was.
I love how they called it an institute.
Yeah.
What the fuck? An
It's crazy, bro.
institution.
So look. So I'm gonna send you a picture. So like, I think that's my block. Actually, that's kind of funny, because
Let's
I
see.
was from they called it the jungle. Okay. So they different. So I'm gonna send you a picture. So you
Okay.
see how it says yeah, why dot, dude? This is crazy. Okay, yeah. So that whole building, you see that whole building?
Yep.
That's a
Wyandotte.
whole. That's where we all sleep in. So that's just one.
It's
Okay,
like an
that's just
airplane hangar.
that's just one, bro. So okay, think about that. So look. So you got one of those that hold at least 300 inmates in it, at least. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Why can't I send this picture? Okay, here we go. And then this is what it looks like on the and
On the
like you
inside.
had that's how our uniforms were. We had like the blue hoodies, the blue jackets, the blue shirt, the blue pants. We had all blue.
Wow.
And that's
Okay.
how big it is. You see how they have like baseball fields and stuff? Like you
Yep.
could join a softball league and everything.
Mhm.
My mom says it's the school of hard knocks.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so those places, like, so those got like so those are like beds and bunch of stuff, bathrooms, and and then the other places there's like gymnasiums and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then but like I said, those one places hold at least 300 inmates, and I was in the place called the Jungle, bro. You went in there, like, so when I first got to prison, when you go through orientation, they put you in this place where it's like a lot of like people that want to go to prison, or people don't want to go to prison, people that do go to prison that have to do their time. It's like it's easy. Like this place was like everyone's respectful. It's like religious, and like they like to keep things clean. They like to do this. Like there's just a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And so they it's nice. It's like, okay. I was like, it's whatever. But eventually, when you get through orientation, when you get through that, Now that's a whole different story now. So like they that's when they send you off. So like you can come back to this place, but you have to you have to put it's called a kite.
I
You have to
gotta
put a
go.
message out
You'll leave
to like,
alert.
to the upper ups, and then they have to like find you a bed space or whenever someone leaves and you have the room. So it takes a while. It could take months and months, maybe a year to get in. So they kind of just throw you wherever after
Thanks.
orientation, and I got
Hope
thrown
you
in a
enjoy
place
the
where they call it
interview.
the jungle, and it's like I said, like there's probably 15, maybe if that, out of 300 people in that dorm room that is white. You know what I mean? So everyone's like black, Mexican, Spanish, whatever. And it's like, it's hard, bro. Like you you ain't getting on them phones if you a white boy. I'm telling you right now, you ain't getting on them phones, bro, or you're fighting, or you're in a gang and you found a way to negotiate with other gangs to get on the shit, dude. It's crazy. So there's a lot of that too. Um, it's just like so annoying. So like, and then like for me to get on the phone to talk to my mom, I had to go through my bunkie because when I went, transferred to the jungle or whatever the hell they called it. My my bunkie, Foots, he was he was an upper up dude. He was I guess he was like in the Crips or something or whatever. He was in the upper up gang group or whatever, and he was he's been in prison for a long time. He was actually, I was sleeping with a murderer, if you think about it, because he was in prison for murder, and his time, like he was like, I think he's like, when I met him he was like in his like 60s or something.
Wow.
So he might be getting out for because he was doing good, and he was like he does a lot for the prison. So like he does like, he goes to church, he goes to like motivational speaking classes, stuff like that. So so he does a lot of cool stuff like that. Because he was trying to get out, what I mean? He's trying to, he's been in there for like I think 33 years or something crazy. So because he murdered someone.
Yeah,
And
of course.
but so anyways, eventually he got me to talk to this one guy, and I told this guy, like, just, I needed to get on the phones, to be able to tell my mom. My mom's a nervous wreck, this and that, like, because I, letters I get from her, and I just figured, I was like, man, I gotta find a way. And so anyways, I talked to this one guy, and he was telling me like, man, like, it's already hard enough to get people on this phone. Like, he didn't want to deal with me, like, you could just tell. And I was just explaining to him like, hey man, like, I know you don't really know me, whatever, but I just told him, this is what I want to use the phone for. Like, I just want to use it because I want to talk to my mom and make sure that she knows I'm okay. And just real with him. And he just like looked at me. He was a black dude, and then he was like, he probably looking at me like, man, this white boy, like, man, he needs to shut up, like, kind of shit. And he was like, you know what? I respect that, because he's like, I love my family, man. I miss my family and stuff like that or whatever. And he like went on a thing about it, and he was like, I thought you wanted to use the phone to get drugs, because a lot of people use the phones to have like their family members come in and bring drugs or whatever, all this crazy shit. Because drugs are always, dude, like prison, dude. My place, like, dude, there was people smoking weed in there and everything, dude. Like, there's people like, and it smells like weed, and the guards literally say like, it smells like weed in here, and you know what the inmates say? Shut up, bitch. We live here.
Oh my.
Dude, it's crazy. And it's like, I mean, you constantly have like they take the guitar amps and they hook up, because you can have like because I had a tablet. My brother got me a tablet in prison, so I could play like Android games. Like, I could play like like little app games, you know what I mean?
Candy
Like
Crush.
Pool and whatever. Yeah, correct. So, keep your mind going. You could buy music like 50 cents here and there. You could buy albums for $1 or $2. It's, they got a whole hustle in prison. I see what they do. But so, I would mostly play with that stuff. What was I talking about? I kind of rambled off.
Phone call.
Oh, the
I
phone call. So
respect
anyways,
that.
yeah.
Family.
So yeah. So eventually I got
Routes.
on the phone. I can get on the phone in the mornings and stuff. But yeah, after a while, man, it was, if I didn't get up at like 6 in the morning to get on the phones, I was fucked. Cause like around like I'd say like 9, 10 o'clock, dude, them phones are, they have them locked down, dude. It's just bad. They just have them locked. It's just like, man, what do you do? So
do you
I
do?
forget what I was gonna say, but I was going on. There's just so much stuff that happened there, and it was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was just so much, and I got a lot of tattoos. I got all my tattoos in there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I went in there with one tattoo, and I came out with a whole right arm sleeve and a left sleeve. uh, I definitely I remember this one time. So they we were having a gang problem at our prison or whatever. So like they brought these like dudes in, like I don't know, like a lot of people were like kind of like freaking out about these people coming in. So a lot of like dudes, like inmates were like getting tattoos to cover their gang tattoos because I guess
Oh.
these people that were coming in like they were trying to take like inmates away and put them somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. Like, and these guys came in with like camo, like, you know what I mean? They came in with the camo and everything, and they checked every single inmate for like tattoos and stuff. And then they, you know, they look at me and they see all these tattoos. My ass, you know, me, because I'm a gamer, I got a bunch of fucking Mario tattoos and shit like that. And these guards are laughing. They're like, hey, man, what gang he part of? I want to be part of this one. And because I have
shit.
all these like Mario and Resident Evil and like tattoos, Zelda, you know, all these like, you know, tattoos that I love, and you know, and just like stuff of my childhood and memory and games, and you know, it's a big part of my life. And it was really funny like having that situation where you have these crazy ass guards. uh
Damn.
it was funny. Yeah, but crazy, man. It was crazy.
What did you
It was
do?
nuts.
Did you have any PTSD or any
Oh yeah, definitely,
when
dude.
you got
Yeah,
home?
no,
You
no,
thought you were gonna get a
no.
good night's sleep, and you wake up in a cold sweat.
Dude, I was so upset, man. Like, uh, so when I discovered PTSD, I never really understood it. Okay, so like when people talk about like PTSD, because like you know me, I love army stuff. I love army games. Like when I was a kid, you could tell me I'd be like I'm an army soldier. Like that was my stuff. And I know like you know a lot of people were saying like Vietnam because I was a big fan of Vietnam era. Because the music and just everything,
Yeah.
how like you know it was just such a big time in our life in America. But so anyways, with you know what I'm saying is that I never really experienced it, like you know what I mean, like I'm like, oh, okay, they just kind of you know, oh my god, I'm going crazy. But when I got out, I was so excited, like it was good to be out. I was like, oh my god, like my mom's like, I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna go out and get some food, we're gonna get like what you want, like do you want lobster, do you want Japanese, like you know, she was just you know doing whatever she wants to, you know, try to spoil me with food, and to make me feel better, you know what I mean, make me, you know, anything I missed out, you know what I mean. So it's like, all right, cool, bet. So you know, going to restaurants, whatever, I was fine, whatever. But like when we went to I don't know if you have Kroger's, but
Yeah. Well, I
yeah, you're familiar with Kroger's, right?
Yep. Yeah, I am.
So
Well, I also used to live in California, so we have that in there. So
yeah, so okay, yeah. Oh, they have Kroger's in California.
I think so, or
I
at
don't
least
know
I've
that.
heard it before. So
But anyway, so yeah, anyways, we went to Kroger's and stuff like that, and it was just you know the Kroger's we went to, a lot of people make fun of jokes, and you know they make fun of things about it, and say like you know memes and say, oh, it's the celebrity Kroger's because you know Lady Gaga goes there because every Thanksgiving or whatever, her grandma's from where my old town was, you know what I mean. So you know people make jokes about it like that, and so anyways with all that going on. The place is busy. That's what I'm saying. I was like, you know, with my mom going through the aisles, and like, dude, with like all those people and stuff like that. Well, like when I was in prison and stuff like that, I always kept my back against the wall most of the time. You know what I mean? Like if I'm just chilling, posting up, talking, bullshit, or whatever, or anywhere, like it didn't matter. I always like to try to keep my back covered just in case, because I've seen some fucking crazy shit where people have done some brutal stuff to someone when they weren't looking. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about, you know, getting hit overhead while they're sleeping type of shit. So like, you know, you always got to, you know, like my bunkie says, you don't sleep, you rest kind of thing, you know? So,
sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And so like when I was in the store, like I don't know, like all the people and just everyone and just like, it just kind of like made me like kind of go into a panic attack. And I was just like stressing out like really, really bad, and just like I couldn't just stay in the store. And I told my mom, I was like, I gotta go to the car. Like I was like, something's just weird. Like I didn't feel right. Like, and I never, like I said, experienced it. So I mean, it was just like, I don't know. It was just like, what's going on?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was like really weird. And then so after that, my mom's like, yeah, we gotta see a psychiatrist. Like that might be a thing. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? But she's like, don't worry. My aunt Denise, she's got one that she had a long time ago. He's a good guy. Yada yada yada. You know what I mean? And he was, man. He was.
Was it hard
I
for you
went
to
there.
open up to this psychiatrist or social worker or whatever at the beginning?
Actually no, because like what made me see, that's the thing, like I used to like kind of not like be open with a lot of stuff, but like prison made me open up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, because for example, like when I was getting transferred to prison, like after jail and then getting sentenced, and then you have to go to this place where you're just like trapped and it's annoying.
Hmm.
And stuff like that. And anyway, so I was hold on, let me see something. Damn it. I'm sorry, I'm playing a game of Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's fine. I know. Are you
So
live streaming as well?
no, I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But yeah, so anyways, what was I at again? Sorry.
Therapists and
Oh yeah,
opening
so
up, and
therapists.
prison set you where you didn't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I was in the halfway point or whatever, the section where like I said, it's called getting your number before you go to prison. I had to be like locked with someone for like a good while, and like, dude, like you're literally sitting like not even 2 feet away from me, and I'm taking a poop. Like, you know what I mean?
Nuts
So
a butt. Yeah.
like yeah, like literally, like, you know what I mean, like you might as well get used to it, you know what I mean, just get used to it.
It's the tutorial level.
Yeah, yeah, literally the tutorial level.
Damn.
And yeah, it was really weird. It was like, that, so I ever since I was like, you know what, like, I'm just opened up to everything now. I'm not gonna complain.
Does it feel cathartic?
Does it feel what?
Cathartic, meaning it feels good to get this off your
Yeah,
shoulders.
yeah, and just to talk about it, yeah, because like it's never good to hold stuff in, man.
No,
I
no.
never,
A
I
lot of
realized that.
veterans I
It puts me in
know,
a dark place. Yeah.
we swallow up pain and discomfort and stuff that we don't want to talk about because we feel like we're not men if we have to talk about it or need help because we
Right.
feel inadequate and we can't do it ourselves. I go through. Well, I went through that. And do you know what my therapy was when I got out?
Hmm.
Alcohol.
Oh
I felt like
man.
I didn't need that, man. I'm a
Woo.
recovering
Yeah.
alcoholic, and
I've been
I've
to a
been
couple meetings.
clean and sober since 2016.
Yeah.
And I fell off the wagon because I started becoming clean. Like I went clean in 2014.
Now, how you been still clean? Like, do you drink still, or do you do any of?
I have fake beer. I started drinking fake Heineken
Oh, dude,
Zero.
my uncle Jeff used to do that, bro. That's funny as hell. Cause I don't know why, but I remember my mom. I was in high school and I was like, fake beer. Why in the hell would anyone drink fake beer?
I'm
They
telling
just
you,
like the
man,
taste of
I've
it.
had so many shitty non-alcohol. I can tell you, Budweiser makes the worst. If you want a fruit drink like a peach or whatever, and you want it watered down, just imagine watered down peach tea. That is the Budweiser
Whoa.
non-alcoholic beer. I've had all these other ones where they rely on hops or whatever it is, but Heineken Zero tastes like Heineken, and it's the only one I'll ever drink. And it doesn't trick my brain into wanting. It's kind of hard. It tricks it tricks my brain into going, man, this was a great drink. I enjoy this, and I feel like everyone else who has had a drink. I can get it at a restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've never wanted to have another drink after 2016. Oh, I have never told you this story.
No.
Holy shit! Let me
Yeah,
tell
'cause
you.
I'm curious because like I was like when I went to the halfway house after because like there's so many stages to get out of jail and stuff. It's so annoying, but there was a lot. I went to a lot of AA meetings and like I don't like I said I was never really a big drinker or anything. Like I smoked weed, but I never really did. But anyways, go ahead. I'm interested because it's crazy to it's cool to
Okay.
see stories that turn out good like that.
I stopped drinking in 2014 and I lost a ton of weight and feeling confident, whatever. Broke up with her, got out of a really toxic relationship in 2015, and then I got certified. Like, I lost my job because of like a really intense panic attack, like psychotic breakdown.
Yeah.
And so after not having that job, like I was finally able to get cleared and looked at to determine my disability rating for the military, which helped me out a lot. And I got all this money, like back pay, like 5 Gs
Hmm.
of back pay from when I filed it originally. So I had all this money. So I was like going to school at my community college for like graphic design. And I wanted to like tour around like certain parts of like the US or whatever, like a small tour of like all these different conventions, man. So I went to video game conventions and filmed, took pictures,
Yeah.
and I was good until I got my tickets and decided I was going to take a trip to Austin, Texas.
Mm.
And it was a good time, but also it was a bad time because as an alcoholic, you're constantly being watched by family and friends, and you know that you can't hide it.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you're away, while the cats are away, the mice will play. And I was like, no one's ever going to find out that I drank. So I can pretend to
Mhm.
be one of these normal people and party it up and everything.
Right.
And yeah, that was a bad idea because I got a little too out of hand. I figured out, like, because I was on this psychiatric medicine, that it caused horrible stomach, like, I don't know, ulcers or pains or whatever.
Oh man, yeah.
And I was still dealing with a little bit of depression and everything, man. But I was like,
Right,
no,
right.
I'm fine, and I'll just have a good time and have like, I had a lunch with another content creator and just had beer, like a pitcher of beer, and I was like, oh, it's fine. I feel like, yeah, I feel like one of the boys again. And then I had like more stomach ulcer problems. And
Mm.
then I was on somebody's podcast, like live podcast called Double Toasted, and I was like a guest because I was a huge fan, and they let me on the show. It was great. So I was talking about DreamHack and all that stuff. It was the first DreamHack in the U.S. in Austin, Texas. And so, like, as soon as the interview was over, I couldn't have met a more dismissive or, I guess, rude, because they literally pretended like I wasn't even there. And
Wow.
I was like, and I just literally left like weirded out and depressed. Because I was like, never meet your heroes, everyone. Uh, so I was like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, they're
man.
like ignoring the shit out of me. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I gotta go and take care. Not even a goodbye. No
Mm.
goodbye. And yeah, so to drown, it was a Sunday night, and I decided it was the night before I was flying back to Boston, and I decided, like, oh, one more last drink, and I went to like some bar that was across the street from their
Mhm.
studio, which was airing like a fan like drink night of Game of Thrones,
Right.
and I was like, oh hell yeah, man, this sounds like a cool idea, and I was like, yeah, why don't I go? And I had this one drink, bro, that was like champagne and this other mixed, like a bunch of other mixed drinks. And me being on like stuff like Seroquel and everything, that intensified the alcoholic content. And I got blitzed. And I blacked out like hardcore. Like, I don't remember, but I got evidence on my phone, but I blacked out. And I'm missing 10 hours of my life.
Mhm.
And I woke up in my Airbnb to the guy who owns the Airbnb busting through my door because I put a chair against there for privacy. And he's like, you're late. And I go, what do you mean? I'm like, you missed your flight.
Oh man.
And I'm looking around for everything. Can't find my wallet. Can't find my driver's license. Can't find my credit cards. I got on my Lyft app. I got that this Lyft driver literally scammed me and brought me to 6th Street at 3 o'clock in the morning. 6th Street closes at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I got there. I don't know how I got back. I think a good Samaritan drove me because I have a video of me doing a selfie video in the person's car. I'm trying to piece everything back together like The Hangover and looking at my phone. I sent all these drunk tweets to like bigger Twitch live streamers like Soda Poppin' and everything who I met the day before. And I did like some photos for him. And this is so funny because I my splitting headache and flip flops, still drunk, and I got all my stuff. I had to call to Boston and get verification that I was who I was because they wouldn't put me on another flight. And I finally get to like San Antonio because it was like Austin, San Antonio. No, Austin to Dallas, Dallas to Boston. So I literally had to fly for an hour, get to Dallas, and wait 8 hours. And I'm cold, and I got my bag, and I'm going through my phone, and there's one video, and I hit play on the video, and it shows me like drunk looking at my phone. And what do? I flip myself off. And that was like the biggest like fuck you to me. Like,
Man.
You're right.
Right.
Fuck me. I'm the biggest fucking idiot in the world. And I was like, holy shit. I almost died because I do remember one moment where I collapsed on the ground. I think this is where the Good Samaritans found me.
Dang,
I
dude.
was collapsed on the ground near the highway. And someone picked me up and put me in their car and brought me to my Airbnb. And that's one of the only memories I remember going to a strip club and not being able to get in because I lost my ID before that. And then I guess I rode with them. They were with the convention. I rode with them. And since I couldn't get in, they literally left me because I didn't know them. So it was weird. And seeing that video and seeing all this other stuff, dude, all I could do was watch a bootleg version of Civil War, Captain America Civil War. And I get home. And I told my dad, who's a recovering alcoholic, and I'm like, yeah, it's fucked up. And I go, I almost died in Austin, Texas, away from you guys. You never would have heard from me. I could have been another statistic. I said, from this moment on, it is not worth it. I am never going to drink again because I never want a repeat of this to happen. And right now, I have so many other things to live for. I got my son, I got my wife, I got my house, I got my job, I got all this other stuff. And a buddy of mine, a battle buddy who's in the army, sent me a bracelet with the date of my first day of sobriety, May 9th of 2016.
Yeah.
And it was etched on there, and he said, never forget that. And true to life, man. You know, it's just, that is the craziest story I have.